Scout uniforms were awesome. We had these activity uniforms that Robert designed.
I did one page at a time with different designs, and then I threw them all together once I got it all figured out. They took it to a computer, then remasked it out so it'd be cleaner lines, and then they printed that off onto the shirt, and then they did the rest from there.
And we had our own unique logo on them.
Why did you do the 3 wolves again?
You wanted to have only one wolf, but the guy was like, it would be good with 3 wolves.
Yeah, he saw your design. He liked the 3 wolf idea.
Yeah.
You could have gone to scout camp. Why did you choose High Adventure?
Because I wanted to have some fun with the older guys and maybe get to know them better.
We were kind of a small pack.
Yeah, we were a decent sized pack. That's about what wolf.
No, there were about 15 wolves in a pack. There was only 9 of us.
But why the wolf and not like...
Because wolves are freaking awesome.
Because wolves are respectable and they respect other people's boundaries.
Yeah.
And I liked them because to me it kind of bound us together as a crew, as a group. It, I think, helped the unity in the group to wear those.
The gray and the red would stand out from yellow, blue, and green shirts.
Right. And did people compliment the shirts?
Yeah.
Did they?
They did.
Okay.
They're like, where'd you get your shirt? They're like, Robert made it.
Robert made it. It was really cool.
I remember conducting in sacrament meeting shortly before the trip, and the young women had been going on a trip too around the same time, and the younger scouts were going at the same time. And I remember asking the ward to combine their prayers and their faith on behalf of the youth and the leaders who were going on these summer activities. Jasper, you brought up Jasper specifically. He had injured his ankle or foot earlier in the summer.
I rolled it playing basketball.
Okay. How did you feel when everyone was helping you out at the end there?
Kind of helpless because it was hard to walk.
Okay.
But it was nice to know that I had my troop to back me up and help me through it. Just whenever you're in need, they always have your back, and that's one of the best things about scouting is everyone's got each other's back, and it's a no-judge, great environment to be in.
And so he, had this injury, and the High Adventure, all we were on our feet all the time, and so you had to have healthy ankles.
I got a blessing from the bishop that I'd be able to go.
So anyway, he ended up coming. It was okay for him to go, and he was fine the whole week.
And I made it all the way up to the last portage, and I rolled it again. I haven't recovered. Nope, I probably never will.
What was the song that Bishop was singing? Do you remember?
No, don't remind me.
Well, we had to wake up really early. We had to be on the water by 6, so we generally woke up at 5.
And waking up how early?
5.
So we could break camp and then have a quick breakfast before getting on the water. And there was a song we learned the year before at the Pioneer Trek.
And then I think we reminded him of it. Rise and shine, give God the glory, glory.
That song haunts me.
Rise and shine and give God his glory, glory. Rise and shine and give God his glory, glory. Rise and shine and give God his glory, children of the Lord. And I'm sure the boys just loved hearing that every morning that early.
Okay. And we had to go to sleep pretty much around 9.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think Oliver was going to be able to do that, but he did it.
I'm surprised he woke up at all.
But you know what? They got up and we got going, and I think they enjoyed getting up early so we could get off the water earlier in the afternoon and enjoy some kind of rest and relaxation.
Did you do much sleeping?
Whenever we didn't have to carry the boat.
Getting to that one campsite,
once we
It's
got
up
to
to
our
our
campsite.
campsite. It was like time to sleep.
Didn't the boys start singing that song later throughout the week?
Yeah, I think so. I think they helped wake up whoever was sleeping.
Yeah, I think it was Lowell.
Rise and shine, give God the glory, glory. I think we sang it just to poke fun at the song.
Give God the glory, glory, rise, shine. Give God the glory, glory, rise, shine. Give God the glory.
All right, so what was the hardest thing on High Adventure?
Like portaging the canoes and bags.
Paddling and hiking with 90-pound packs.
The portages. That was really it.
That we were canoeing 18 miles every day.
Yeah.
We are climbing. Oh, we are climbing. Soldiers of the Lord. We are climbing. Jacob. We are Jacob. We are climbing. Soldiers of the Lord.
Do you remember the name of the two most difficult portages?
No.
The mile-long
They were
portages?
long and they were tough.
Do you remember what the name of those were? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. The bad portages.
Bad portages?
I rolled my ankle on it.
What was the 1 mile portage called?
The demoralizer.
Demoralizers?
No, those weren't. That wasn't the demoralizer. That was a different. The demoralizers
No,
were the first
no,
two.
it was a demoralizer.
The demoralizers.
It was the thing you're thinking of was 5 miles long. We never did that. I wanted to.
No, that was no. No, you didn't.
Yeah, I did.
All the rest of them weren't really long. They're just stairs.
Do you think the name was worthy?
Yes.
We are climbing. Jacob. We are Jacob. We are climbing. Soldiers of the Lord. Yeah, we do you.
I didn't realize how out of shape I was.
I thought he would just lay down the first day and die.
Because if they were falling behind, I'd carry their bags for them and let them catch up on their own.
Our last portage, which is when we were carrying the canoe and our gear across the land, he rolled it again.
The last like 20 yards of the portage.
And so just the last few hours of our trip, we needed to kind of carry him and take care of him. But it was a blessing that it hadn't happened earlier in the trip.
I kind of like crutched with people to the boat because we were pretty close.
They helped you to the boat.
Yeah.
Anytime one of the youth couldn't carry their pack or they couldn't carry the canoe, we had to pick up the slack.
Picking up slack.
Did someone have to come and pick up the slack for you?
Yeah, Robert came back and picked it up.
Everyone else had to pick up his slack because he couldn't put weight on it.
I had to help people that were falling behind.
Okay. I think all the leaders carried the canoes more than the youth. My shoulders killed.
Your shoulders were aching each night.
Yeah.
We had to take his pack and
So you had to go up and actually pick them up or pick up what they were carrying?
Both.
I remember Robert carrying 2 packs.
oh, that's right.
At one point, he was carrying 2 gray whales.
And I had to carry 2 of them since you went with Jasper and you could have took one. And
So, of the canoe, the gray well, or the equipment pack, which was your favorite to portage?
The green
Gibson's
one.
bag.
Yeah, Gibson's bag, because there was like nothing in it.
Green bags are the one with the food.
Gibson's bag,
Gibson's back.
because it just had his personal stuff. It's light.
Which was your least favorite to portage?
The gray well, because it was always so lopsided.
The gray whale is the bag that we pack all of our clothing and personal belongings in,
So what is a gray? What is a gray
The
well?
gray well, it was this huge pack. It was gray.
which were big and 80 pounds.
You basically could stuff, 2 people's equipment in the gray well. Yeah, including tents, pots and pans, stuff like that.
Where were you carrying when that happened?
The gray whale bag.
So you
Oh,
were
actually
carrying
3,
stuff
wasn't
for
it?
2 or 3 people.
At one point, he was carrying 2 gray whales.
What was the easiest part?
rowing on a call. with the wind.
Fishing was easy.
What about that moment where you guys were all trying to catch a fish? Tell me what happened there.
Most choked.
I choked. The crappy fishing rods choked.
So Lowell, you
Blamed an equipment failure, but his reeling skills were up to
feeding him and stuff.
We are. Take up and we are grounded.
So how big was that fish?
At least that big.
Then you can just make stuff up.
Okay.
Pretty big fish. Jasper was asleep. He didn't know what happened. We were all pretty happy.
Yeah.
We reeled it in, then it jumped out of the water and broke the line.
Okay.
That's how big it
You
was.
broke the line. And then what happened after that?
the real fisherman codfish.
Yeah.
Little.
Oh, sorry,
We
no.
couldn't even keep him.
My line almost broke. I had to dive in the water and reel him out with my hands. It gets easy.
How big was that fish that you caught?
I don't know. You have to investigate the video, but I thought it was pretty good.
Okay. What do we have to do with all of our life preservers and all of our other equipment?
We had to clip them onto a tree of life. So basically, clip them onto a tree. That's where we keep them.
Okay. And you call it the Tree of Life?
The tree of life.
Gibson, what did you learn from Gibson's leadership? You could tell he was a serious scout.
Yeah,
couldn't you?
we learned how to actually tie the knot and put up a bear bag.
We grabbed a rope and basically hung the food pack from a tree.
You had to throw it over a tree, limb thing, because apparently there were bears there.
So how high would it have to be safe from the bears, or
Was it 20 feet?
did it have to be out a certain ways
8
from
feet.
8 feet out from the
From the
trunk?
So we got to him the last couple of days. It was pretty chill.
What was the toilet called? Do you remember?
Toilet? The green, the brown, I don't know.
The duffer? Or, no,
Oh yeah, the duffer.
is that what it was?
Yeah.
No, it was the grumper.
The grumper.
That's right.
yon bonny banks and by yon bonny bridge.
There were 3 spots. There was somebody that was in the front steering the canoe, and the person in the back was the force of the canoe, and the person in the middle was just sitting there. And when you're in the middle, you were like down below, close to the water, and you really didn't have any control. I had to give over all my control to the youth who were in front and behind me, and I had to try to motivate them without me being able to paddle. Whenever you paddled in that middle section, you didn't really do much, and you usually threw off the rhythm.
You were at the mercy of some young man when you were sitting in the middle, when you were duffing.
That's right. We called it the duff. But there was one of those times where I was in that vulnerable spot, and one of our youth was expressing some emotions that we've been going through. We were in the middle of nowhere in the water. The 2 other canoes weren't anywhere close, and he was yelling. I could just tell he just needed to get it out, and I think he felt better. I may have yelled back a little bit, but
just.
Was there that we parted in yon shady glen, on the steep, steep sides of Ben Lomond, where in a purple hue the Heelan hills we view, and the moon coming out in the glow.
Our first day just was a bad day.
was there any point where you wanted to go home?
Like the first day.
First day?
And we only got like 5 miles. That was pretty sucky.
Everybody wanted to go home at the end of the first day.
For me and my true love will never meet again.
And how did you feel when you found out that we didn't have enough food for the trip?
But then they were like, oh, we got more food, so it's okay.
Instead of going home, instead of giving in to that just kind of despair and why are we here, we woke up the next morning, the young men woke up the next morning, and we just cranked it.
Hey, that second day where we had already lost ground was probably the hardest day.
We had a pretty stiff wind.
Kind of cold though.
When we were canoeing, I was in the duffer, and we were canoeing down the really big lake. It was the second day, and we were getting nearing to have lunch.
Were you in the duff position on the 2nd or 3rd day when the wind was really stiff and we were going kind of
And it started pouring rain, and I was in the duffer, so I couldn't really move to. Otherwise, I'd kind of upset the boat, but I couldn't really move to get all the water off me, so it kind of just soaking in slowly.
The river like canal that we had to go down was like swamp. We had to get out every so often and pull it out of the mud over a beaver dam.
We needed to get to a campsite, and we kind of had to go parallel with the waves, which is a really bad thing to do in a canoe because you can be tipped very easily.
And the storm was raging against us, the wind was blowing against us. We had to angle the canoe just to be able to go forward. But it was raining.
And that was probably one of the moments where I was most nervous.
Did you pray at all at any point during?
I was too busy paddling.
I can't remember, frankly, offering a specific prayer, but I'm sure I was seeking heaven's help. I do remember hearing from you later that one of the boys in your canoe actually had his head down and he was praying at that moment, and he felt the blessing of prayer at that moment.
When the storm would pass, that we get to our destination a lot quicker.
Praying that we could make it in that storm and that we'd be okay. And I remember there was one moment where, just for a brief period, the storm calmed. And I talked with the boys, and we all kind of felt that that was an answer to our prayer.
And I remember through the week thinking about that, and definitely at the end of the week thinking how our prayers were heard, that the prayers of the Lord were heard, because no one was hurt.
Me and my true love will never meet
Gibson are amazing.
on the bonny, bonny banks of Loch Lomond. Oh, you take the high road, and I'll take the low. I'll be in Scotland for ye, for me and my true love will never meet again on the bonny.
So how did you guys feel after that second day, after we made up ground and...
There were some points where I was really exhausted, like physically didn't want to go anymore.
Tired.
And how did you keep going in those moments?
There wasn't really any other choice. Like, you're stuck on a lake, so you just gotta kind of keep going. Like, you can't really stop because then you're just stuck.
What did we do, like 18 miles that second day?
15 and a half.
No, it was 18.
I'm pretty sure it was 15.
It was 18.
That was the third day.
18 miles our second day. Whatever. And then that just kind of set the tone for the rest of the week.
The mood completely changed, and everyone was really happy, grateful for what we were doing, and excited to try to make our goal. So
You're gonna have to finish, no matter.
To me, that's the biggest lesson, is that you can overcome days that are bad. There's probably not a better lesson that anyone can learn in preparing for a mission than that.
For me and my true love will never meet again on the bonny, bonny banks of Loch Lomond.
tell me about that moment when we came around U.S. Point.
U.S. Point was really cool. It's a kind of a peninsula across the water from Canada.
What did you think when you saw that eagle on U.S. Point?
When we made our turn around it, there was a bald eagle up in a pine tree right on the corner. It was like a sentinel kind of standing guard on the entrance to our country, and that was really neat.
Patriotic, freedom, America.
You know, it's fun to be there with the young men. You know, the eagle is the symbol of our scouting program, and it was kind of a fun moment to have with the young men.
Was there that we parted in yon shady glen, on the steep, steep sides of Ben Lomond, where in a purple hue the heathen hills wave you, and the moon coming out in the glow.
Do you guys remember when we went to Canada?
Yeah, for like 10 seconds.
Who took that rock from Canada?
A lot of people. Yeah, I took one. Jasper took one.
It's taking land back from Canada, one rock at a time.
Oh yeah, we took some rocks and threw them to America.
Sounds kind of illegal.
Oh, you take the high road, and I'll take the low. And I'll be in Scotland before ye. For me and my true love will never meet again on the bonny, bonny banks of Loch Lomond.
Yeah, what was that? Tell me about that campsite.
There's
Jasper.
a waterfall.
There's a beach and a big rock.
The last waterfall.
So it was like the perfect campsite, right?
Yeah, it was pretty. After a 380-mile day.
Was that
However long it
was that on the last day or the second to last day? The very last campsite was the best.
The wee birdies sing and the wildflowers spring, and in sunshine the waters are sleeping, but the broken-hearted kens nae second spring again. Though the wafer may cease their greeting.
And how did you feel after the trip?
I felt like I was about to die and ready to take a nap. A long one.
Would you do it again?
Yeah. Yeah, minus all the portages. That was the worst part.
Would you do it again?
I would. If there was less people, maybe a 6.
totally do it again.
67 miles.
Further. We go further. 200 miles.
No, you don't.
Do the 200. Get that award.
No, it's not even sort of fun.
You take the high road, and I'll take the low, and I'll be in Scotland for 4 years. For me and my true love will never meet again. Under the bonny, bonny banks of Loch Lomond.
Were you okay with how far we went?
Sometimes. Other times, not really. No, that was really far.
So, Jasper, what was your favorite moment from High Adventure?
I thought I already said it.
What's that?
I thought I already said it.
Going home?
Yeah.
Okay. That doesn't count.
It doesn't.
No. And so, how did you feel when he started singing that in the morning when you were like waking up?
Not good because it woke us up.
We were going against the waves, weren't we? Against the waves, against the wind. So, who broke that fishing rod?
Were you blaming me?
No. You're supposed to say the fish.
The fish didn't break it.
Okay. All right.
I'm done with seminary, by the way.
Good job.
Yeah. 4%.
Okay. You guys done?
Come on, fellas, let's use our time.
Did you guys finish all the videos? You guys are all done? Okay. Did any of you guys say a prayer during that second day?
We're too busy pulling the canoe out of the mud.
I trusted these guns to get me through.
We did a devotional.
3 times, right?
Was it 3 times a day that we did it? Or was
No, I think it was just 3 times the whole trip.
But it seems like we were always doing devotionals.
Yeah, we were always doing devotionals. Bishop was always bringing something up.
Okay.
And then you like throw stuff.